Hello, my friends, and welcome to Fishtory. I'm Alexander Williamson, and today I want to tell you about the Discord that we are setting up, or is set up. It's up. Go there now. So, just to let you know, if you don't know what Discord is, it's basically another website that's similar to, say, Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. It's a place to host multimedia, only you get a profile. You can talk and interact, and there's no real censorship other than whatever we decide as a community we want censored. So we can do things like put up jokes, we can talk about things like political actions that have an impact on freshwater fish. We can talk about things like when they were going to ban all exotic fish in the country, possibly. Things like this that get very sensitive on YouTube that I've not been able to talk about here. Hopefully, this will be a new home where I can talk about the repercussions of humans and fish. Also, the biology of fish. I haven't been able to talk about things like how fish change from male to female, or how fish are able to do fascinating things and change their actual epigenetic code. Things like how signal crayfish in Germany went from one individual that needed to reproduce with male and female crayfish to suddenly self-cloning, and then whoever it was who kept that individual signal crayfish in Germany, which it's not native to, then somehow let it out and it escaped all around the world, and now it's out in the environment self-cloning itself. Talking about the reproduction of that crayfish has gotten 2 of my videos censored. So I am excited to have a place where we can put up things like that, where we can talk about things like corruption and gold mining in the Amazon. We can talk about things like the Bolsonaro government. When that was an active government, there were times when it would censor things. If I would talk about the impact of why shipping and freight had gone up in the world due to COVID, at one point they were censoring my videos for that. So I think this will be a great place to be able to communicate with you better, but also, not only that, it will be a place where I can see your posts. I can see what you're excited about. If you guys have fish and aquariums that you've set up and you want to show me, you can do that, and I can talk to you. You can talk to community members. We can have a big old love fest talking about nerding out about fish, and I'm really excited about that piece of it. Also, a reality is that the channel has 75,000 subscribers now, and while I can't thank you guys enough for all of that, it's a lot of you, and I am spending 4 hours a day trying to get through the comments and the personal messages and the emails. And I'm still going to try to do that, but I'm going to devote at least 1 hour of that 4 hours, if not an additional hour, so 5 hours, just to communicating with people from the channel and in the Discord, because those people are willing to basically help me keep the lights on for a little bit more. Now, a lot of people already help out here on YouTube. If you like that, stay that way. But Discord gives 90% of the profits to the creator. So then I just have to pay my taxes, and I get to keep the rest and put it towards the channel. I get to put it towards things like traveling and going to talk at clubs, because a lot of times they'll pay for the airfare, but then if I stay an extra 2 days, right there I put myself in the hole money-wise, and I have to, come up with a way to compensate for that. Things like buying new fish and taking care of the fish room and just keeping the lights on here, that is all, a thing I have to think of as a reality when I'm doing this full time. And I can't thank you guys enough for liking the channel to the point where I can do this full time. And now that I'm recovering from this summer's bad health episode, we'll call it, I'm excited and I'm feeling reinvigorated. I think we could do something like the aquascaping contest that we've done 5 years in the past. We could do that really well with this Discord. And I made it as cheap as they're letting you make it right now, which is $2.99. I would have made it $1.99 or 99 cents even if they would let me, but right now, because of the Apple Store, they want 30% of every transaction that goes for any apps. And so whether that's Discord or whether that's a monthly subscription, they want 30% of it off the top. And a lot of companies have decided we can't do 99 cents, we can't do $1 or 50 cents or whatever it may be. It has to be a chunk big enough that it makes sense for the company, like makes money, you know. Basically, it comes down to kind of greed, I suppose. But some of the old Discords, I think, are allowed to still have tiers that are under that amount, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm sorry, but that's what the entry bar is. But because of that, I am going to share every PDF that I am allowed to share, every PDF that I get the permission from the creator to share with you guys. I'm going to. We already have a huge library made up of content there. There's 15 sources that I've linked that I use for most of my research. Things like Fishbase, things like Seriously Fish Keeping, things like the actual USGS maps of creeks and watersheds in the US, and various groups like Shoal, or my own nonprofit, the Green Earth Alliance, that Ivan Mikolji and I have set up. So there are going to be a lot of resources, a lot of projects there. It's where I'm also going to try to keep people up to date on the Green Earth Alliance that we have set up, and reintroducing the diamond tetra to its natural habitat. It has not lived there since the 80s, when a giant mudslide took out their endemic lake habitat in the basin of Lake Valencia in Venezuela. And Ivan happens to live there. And so our nonprofit, for under $10,000, is going to be able to pay for all the studies and everything. And we've already sourced the genetic, true, natural, localized, endemic fish strain of diamond tetra from their natural history museum there. And they are breeding them, getting ready to put them in the water, which is super exciting. We've been working behind the scenes. We've also gotten lids and jars, or lids for jars for collection specimens that are over 150 years old, and they used to have cork lids or metal lids that were simply rusting, and it was only $1.50 to $2 to get these things new lids to preserve one-of-a-kind specimens, some of which were the only original collection data and original sample of that species in the entire world, and they were literally going to go down the drain due to evaporation and rust, and nobody approved the $1.50 budget for new lids, you know, for, I don't know, a couple hundred of them. So things like this that are very low bar entry, we're trying to find around the world, especially in developing nations, where we can preserve information and data about species that we are trying to protect, about areas in the world, rivers that we are trying to protect, freshwater ecosystems and brackish water ecosystems that need to be documented so that they can be preserved. It was just published that over 4/5 of the fish species in the world have not been assessed for if they are even threatened or endangered. So when you have a species that is endemic to only one lake, do you call that endangered? Do you call that threatened? Or is it just a really unique fish and who cares and let's move on? Well, what about when the lake starts getting logged, or when there is pollution in the lake, like in Guatemala's lakes and things like that? Or Africa, the Rift Lakes, when tilapia are taking over, or so sadly in Sulawesi, where there are the crazy flower hornfish taking over those lakes that have over 64 species of beautiful freshwater shrimp. So these are things we can talk about, we can tackle. Hopefully we will make connections with community members around the world. And hopefully the bar for entry, I know $2.99 is more than the $1.99 to be a member on this channel, but cancel this channel membership if you want. Hop over there and you'll be able to interact. You can share your fish. You can share what you're breeding. You can ask for help if you don't know what's going on with some of your test readings on your stuff. If you want to know how to set up things, we're going to have tutorials. We're going to have resources there for you. So I'm really excited about the Discord. It's been a long time in the making, and we've thought about it pretty carefully. And now we're waiting for the people, you. For over 150 people have signed up already, and we are basically building the community as we speak. So if you want to get involved, if you have a passion project, if you're obsessed with killifish, for instance, and you want to manage the little page on that, or on dwarf cichlids, you know, whatever it may be, if we end up having an interest in something, we're going to need somebody who's passionate about it to help keep things in line and to help move it along. And you know, I'm hoping that you guys who are doing research, any of you students, any of you professors or researchers out there, that you guys will also want to come and contribute and share, even if it's not fish that you study, even if it's something like aerodynamics or aquadynamics or civil engineering. There is probably something that you see in your work that has something very interesting to do with fish when explained properly. And I am being, I am just getting so excited thinking about all the ways that we are going to each learn new things through this setup. Now, I will continue to do things the same way I always have here at YouTube for the most part, and we'll just have some extra content as well as alerts to whenever there's a video, which is nice because a lot of people are frustrated when they have no idea that I've been putting out videos other than going to my page. Well, now you can have the Discord set up, and if you want alerts on that, you can set it up that way. I know it's a little bit of a learning curve if you're new to it, but it's pretty similar to like Reddit or Facebook. It's kind of a hybrid of those kind of places, and or Threads or MySpace back in the day. It's kind of like a mix between a forum and a social media site, and under it all, I want you guys represented. I want your opinions, and I want to learn from you, to share with you, and to find out what it is you want me to cover on the channel, to have real-time feedback. And hopefully things like if I get a deal that I can't shout out to 75,000 people, maybe I have a limited number or something. Like recently, Crystal Castleman, she had me check out her new book, and I could have ordered those books at a very low price and then sold them. So we could buy something as a group like that if we need to import it, for instance. Other scientists, fish keepers, and hobbyists around the world are doing really exciting things, and we can link up with them as well. So I just wanted to give you guys a little preview about this. There's information in the description and pinned down below. If you want to be a part of this Discord thing and you made it this far, please feel free to join, and I will see you in the Discord. If not, I'll see you here on YouTube. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. Take care.